Hey folks, Jackdaw here. With the February Dreadwolf gameplay leak and previous Dragon Age marketing campaigns, we've all been speculating about the return of a very beloved feature in Dreadwolf, that being origin stories. This time as faction-based origin stories. Throughout my time on this channel and in many videos, I have discussed this topic at great length since the idea of faction-based origin stories first appeared in the 2020 Game Awards trailer. But today we're going to solely focus on this topic in this video and delve into the potential return of origin stories in Dreadwolf, exploring what they could mean for the game and also why I believe they would make for a very much welcome return. So to begin with, it's worth examining the evidence that supports the return of faction-based origin stories in Dreadwolf, and kicking this off with the 2020 Game Awards trailer. Throughout this trailer, we were introduced to various figures that resembled factions throughout Thedas, some of them quite familiar like the Grey Wardens and the Antivan Crows, while some of them seemed quite new, potentially being the Tevinter Sakari and the Executors. Now, while the primary purpose of this trailer at the time was to showcase new characters and locations, Varric's narration throughout the trailer hinted at a new hero rising up to face the odds of Fen Harel, additionally suggesting that the player could potentially be one of these four factions as a part of their origin story. Moreover, in 2021, as part of a marketing campaign for Dreadwolf, BioWare released several concept art pieces throughout the year featuring each of these relevant factions. Again, once more including the Grey Wardens and the Antivan Crows, as well as additionally the Mortalitasi and the Lords of Fortune. Firstly, of course, these concept art pieces provide further confirmation of these factions' presence in Dreadwolf, and even further, potentially suggest that the new hero may be a member of one of these factions. The inclusion of these factions' concept art also raises questions about the role that each faction will actually play in the game and how they will help shape the narrative, crafting even more excitement about Dreadwolf's potential plot. And the final solid ground we have about origin stories is the February gameplay leak of Dragon Age Dreadwolf, which is honestly the biggest nugget of evidence we've got, because the leaked footage showcased the new hero as a Grey Warden, exploring the faction's headquarters with two other companions in what appeared to be some kind of introduction mission. So while this leak confirms that the player character can potentially be a Grey Warden, it also backs into faction-based origin stories being a central feature of the new game. With all of that in mind, it seems like we can all look forward to experiencing a rich and diverse range of origin stories that will shape our unique gameplay experience in Dreadwolf, being tied to a faction. The return of origin stories in Dreadwolf would bring back a core feature that was highly praised in Dragon Age Origins, where players were able to choose from a variety of backgrounds such as a human noble, elf commoner, or a dwarf noble, which would then influence the character's motivations, relationships, and dialogues throughout the game. These unique backstories provided each character with their own quests and storylines that shaped their journey. However, since Dragon Age Origins, the series has notably departed from this feature, making its return all the more exciting for fans if true. Origin stories making a comeback would be a significant development for Dreadwolf, as it would allow all of us to create a more bespoke character with a unique backstory, personality, and motivation, providing a completely fresh perspective to the game. Moreover, it would increase the game's replayability, as we'd all be able to experience different origin stories and see how the game's narrative is ultimately impacted by them. And with Dreadwolf taking us to Tevinter and possibly other locations in northern Thedas, like the Anderfels, Novara, potentially Antiva, the time has never been more ripe for a more expansive approach to storytelling. And of course, the return of origin stories would provide that fantastic opportunity for BioWare to expand the lore and the world building of the Dragon Age universe. For example, each faction-based origin story could be tied to a specific region, offering the player a richer understanding of the game setting and history. For example, we already get this idea from the gameplay leak. The potential Grey Warden's origin story could be exploring Fortress Weishaupt from a dragon attack while Darkspawn also attack. Fortress Weishaupt being a location that is yet to be seen in Dragon Age, but one that undoubtedly harbours many secrets and hidden lore, and thanks to this leak we can basically confirm will be in Dreadwolf regardless of the context. Another great example of this approach would be if the player can be an Executor, an unknown brand new faction with very mysterious intentions and origin. If we could actually belong to them, that would be one of the very best ways to fully understand and digest their current lore, background, and story, tying it all into Dreadwolf's plot. Literally the best way to experience this faction firsthand, because our new hero could be one of them. And with seemingly Dreadwolf's plot already involving having the aid of Thedas' most powerful current factions, having a hero with an established backstory with one of them would provide a unique opportunity to further enrich the game's narrative. Again, very similar to Dragon Age Origins, meeting characters in the introduction missions who will later on play pivotal roles in the narrative, or even experiencing the game from the unique perspective of a Grey Warden or an Antivan Crow, adding that completely different dynamic. Faction-based origin stories would not only provide us all with a deeper understanding of the game's lore and world building, but also a sense of personal investment and agency to our own character. Our choice of faction could potentially influence relationships, alliances, and quests throughout the game, allowing for many multiple playthroughs and different outcomes based on our choices. Another potential benefit of the return of origin stories would be that it could enhance the role-playing aspect of the game. In Dragon Age Origins again, the origin stories allowed players to make choices that reflected their character's backstory and personality. For example, a dwarf noble might have different priorities and values than an elf commoner, which could lead to different choices and outcomes throughout the game. The return of origin stories in Dreadwolf could further deepen that aspect, allowing players to fully immerse themselves in their character's role. And finally, the return of origin stories could also provide opportunities for customization and personalization. We could all choose not only our character's race, class, and appearance, but also our origin story, giving us even more control over our character's background and personality, something that I feel was severely lacking in Inquisition and Dragon Age 2, therefore leading to a more fulfilled and personalized gaming experience, as we'd all feel even more invested in our characters and their journey. Each of these faction-based origin stories could allow us all to experience different themes and issues, such as class, race, and identity. It could also create more complex and nuanced characters, as their backgrounds and motivations would be fully developed, leading to even more emotionally resonant experiences. Again, another example, just like Al Howe in Dragon Age Origins, literally a completely different antagonist with a bigger personal connection if you were a noble. And that storyline intensified the closer and closer we got to actually reaching him and dealing with him. It's those unique personalized experiences that origin stories really allow for a particular tailored experience. And so in conclusion, the return of origin stories would of course be a significant and exciting development for Dreadwolf, as it would add depth, value, variety, and customization to the game, while also enhancing the role-playing and storytelling aspects. With the potential to play as a Grey Warden, an Antivan Crow, a Tevinter Sakara, an Executor, or whatever else, each with their own unique backstory and quests, we'd all be able to have a more personal and immersive experience in Dreadwolf. And moreover, the use of origin stories could expand the lore and world building of the Dragon Age universe, providing a deeper understanding of the game setting and history firsthand. Ultimately, it's something I'd love to see in Dreadwolf. Here's hoping that BioWare return them in their full glory in Dad. Let me know all of your thoughts on the return of origin stories. Which faction would you like to play as if we had the choice between a Grey Warden, an Antivan Crow, a Tevinter Sakari, or an Executor? I would love to know all of your thoughts down below. But of course, for the latest on all your things Dragon Age Dreadwolf, you're already in the right place. But until then, I have been Jackdaw, and I should go. Whoa, 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 whoa.